somebody else told me it was because they work all night, so it just needs to be light.
That too.
But it's very odd. Look at it. It looks like a city.
It does look like a city.
It is. Yeah, city.
Okay, you guys ever lived somewhere that's the energy city?
Nope.
This straight ahead is Motiva. That's the largest refinery in America right now. Largest
The
in
tall
this.
building?
Well, no, with the
All
little
of
tall
it?
little things,
Oh, yeah.
stacks, smokestacks.
That's the largest.
That's the largest in this hemisphere. Baytown, Texas is doing something they should be. Once they get, I guess, their capacity to get their expansion done, they'll be bigger than that one. But for now, that's the largest in the Western Hemisphere. That one there is Valero. Oh,
Is that-
back
is
to
that what
fracking.
happening,
No,
or-
that's not. But you are in this. This is where the end users are. You know, I often talk about it. It's a good and a bad thing. I heard that Delaware had a earthquake today, and that's like a place that doesn't have earthquakes. So, you know, there's areas around the nation in Dallas, the water table's being compromised up in Pennsylvania area. Things are happening. But we're not fracking here.
Okay.
What we are doing here in Port Arthur is this is where all of it's coming to. Right here, I can take you in my office in a second and show you the windfall that we have of economic development. For so long, just tell you how the industry worked here. For so long, all these refineries imported natural gas. So we have a few Cheniers and a few Golden Pass LNGs that were the importers of natural gas. This is before we found them, we could start fracking. They were imported, they pump it to the refinery keep the refinery going. Well, once they found all these different shales across America and they started fracking all this gas, they were like, well, we don't need to import it, let's export it now. So across the street, across the way here, Chenier's just finished up a $10 billion expansion where they're taking all the natural gas that's being fracked or wherever they're finding that in America, and they're exporting it around the world to India, to China, to whatever end user that they have. So we don't frack here in Port Arthur, but every just about natural gas pipeline and everything else that they're trying to export pretty much comes to Port Arthur, Texas.
Real close to it. Like that smoke, like when you're over there, it's intense.
It's ridiculous.
Like I'll show you guys some pictures. I'll put them on the live blogs too.
Yeah, dude. Jessica
the
said her
smoke-
stepdad calls this Cancer Alley or something like that.
Yeah, it's like really bad. The smoke, how thick it is too.
It's everywhere. You
Yeah,
can
I mean,
smell
look
it
what
when you
that's
get
doing to our
outside.
environment. It's just disgusting.
And guess what? There's a block of like homes literally right behind it. Like they're right across the street, and they're taking in all the, and it's smoke, and it's like fire is like literally right across somebody's house, and they're shooter homes, so shotgun homes. So it's like you shoot a shotgun through it, and then it'll go through it. And but that means it's thin walled.
Right.
Jesse, do you think this is why the water tastes so bad? Because we watch Gasland and they're talking about like the fracking and oil refineries and stuff and how it affected their water, and they could like set their water on fire in their faucets.
You know,
I've seen those.
yeah, it very well could be why the water tastes bad.
I talked to the mayor about this oil spill that happened in Port Arthur in 2010, and it was only in a small area, so like it was secluded. But Q, do you imagine if like something like the hurricane like broke one of these things?
No, the people in the town behind the oil, they said that the water, when it flooded, it smelled like chemicals.
Ew.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of the firemen, they were saying, like, because the water wasn't, the water, like, a lot of the sewage, a lot of sewage went into the water.
Mm-hmm.
They said, like, a lot of them got, like, horrible rashes, and they had to get they said almost everyone had to get shots, like 3 or 4 different shots,
Jeez.
like Hep C, tetanus, Benadryl.
I'm just looking at all these power lines. Like, how did everybody not get electrocuted?
They have an actual high rate of that here.
Make a U-turn
Of
and proceed to
electrocution?
Houston Avenue. Make
Yep.
a U-turn
Their
and
trees
proceed
fall
to
and
Houston
stuff.
Avenue. Turn right onto 4th Street.
Like the trees you see low to the ground are not
Proceed to the
literally low
route.
to the ground. They like
Turn
are
right onto 4th
pretty
Street.
much molded at that point.
Oh,
to
wow.
being broken.
Shocked or with
I had
the
a young
hurricane?
man that was actually in the hurricane that was in Tent City that lost 2 of his kids from
Oh.
electrocution.
Oh my
There's
goodness.
another guy that lost somebody because of electrocution. When you saw the stream, people were yelling at me to get out of the water because I could be electrocuted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was some electrocutions that happened. It wasn't good.
Do you believe in global warming?
Yes, of course. Of course. And this is where it all started. This is Port Arthur, Texas. Yes, ma'am, I do. We live on a coast where I just had a hurricane that dropped 60 inches of water in my city. I believe in global warming. Yes, ma'am.
We talked to some people who didn't.
I know. That's, it just, they haven't, walked through their home in 3 foot of water, or they haven't been rescued in a boat from their driveway. I mean,
Weird irony here. Everybody drives huge cars, so they're using all the gas. They're the biggest consumers of all this kind of stuff, and then they're contributing to climate change. Well, if everybody in this car believes in climate change,
Absolutely.
they're contributing to climate change, and then they're being impacted by the hurricanes that are caused by, in more intensity
Mm-hmm.
by climate change.
And everyone that I asked about it was like, I don't think so. Like, that doesn't seem right.
On the climate change thing.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
And their homes floating down the river.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think it's because they don't know anything. A lot of people don't tend to leave Texas. Like, my roommate's from Texas, so she's always like, people don't leave. Like, you stay forever. Like, she's like, it's very weird if you leave because your whole family's here and you don't leave.
Right.
So she's just like, a lot of people just don't understand
Yeah.
that, like, outside of Texas, places don't look like this. Like, people don't drive big cars. The sky isn't this color. Like,
Right.
Yeah, I noticed that there were like no bike lanes here.
No.
No one's biking.
You can't bike here. It's not
there's
designed
very
for
little
it.
sidewalks. There's very little bike lanes.
Yeah, it kind of makes you appreciate where you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this pollution is real, and I can't believe there haven't been more stories about higher cancer rates.
I mean, you can just see it too. Like, you can see the smog
Yeah.
all around the city. I noticed that the other day. I was like, everywhere you look, there's refineries. There's just like this dusty gray
Yeah,
smog.
like it makes me miss like Lake Michigan and
Yeah.
just like clean air.
Yeah, Paul took this cute picture of me out by the water, and just a huge like wall of air pollution in the back.
That's depressing.
Yeah.
Ohio and Florida.
We were
Sorry.
talking to CSAC and his friend, and they agreed that they didn't openly agree with climate change being real, but they did acknowledge that the Earth is going through some kind of phase, and that's the way he saw it, is that the Earth is going through its own sort of season, and whether that accommodates human life or not is really up to nature.
They say you're a believer in global warming. How do you think this contributes?
Oh, a lot. A lot, it does. But you know, again, the big thing is the cars also. You know, the cars are using a lot of this gas that is emitting the CO2s and the carbons that we don't need. So, you know, hopefully one day we can get to electric cars, and that'll definitely kick off some of the emissions. But we have a lot of countries around the world that aren't as far as we are in the industrial state. So they're going to take some decades to catch up to where we are like this. So they'll probably be emitting for a long time all kind of CO2s and carcinogens in the air. So it's a thing. These guys are trying to get their greenhouse gases down. They've been working on things. They get credit for, you know, modernizing and upgrading their systems. So they've been trying. But again, we have a high rate of cancer here in the city of Port Arthur, and I think a lot of it is due to the proximity of the refineries. One thing too that's a liberal idea that I've been trying to implement here, and I think would be the great thing, would be carbon credits. You know, there's things that carbon credit, as far as if there's some type of emissions that happen or flare that happens, you know, we penalize them by doing some type of balance in the atmosphere, whether it be planting 10,000 trees or, you know, doing something that offsets the emissions and the things that they're doing damage to the environment.
I mean, you guys look good on trees. Your trees are awesome here.
Oh, thank you. We're trying. We got some evergreens.
This is just amazing up here.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful, except for all that in the back there. All right, Paul. We can name one Nemo, but I want most. But I want most of them to be Marlin Jr.